Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Connecticut Recreation and Parks Association's 2013 Hall of Fame presentation. The Connecticut Recreation and Parks Association's Hall of Fame was established in 2008 to recognize individuals and organizations that have made extraordinary contributions to the recreation, parks, golf, and conservation movement in Connecticut. The recreation profession owes its existence and growth to the vision and dedication of these leaders who have worked so hard to improve the quality of life for all residents of Connecticut. The Hall of Fame class of 2008 included George Sanford, Joe Trapasso, and R. Peter Ledger. 2 years later, the class of 2010 included Frederick Law Olmsted and Harold Behrens. All Connecticut Recreation and Parks Association Hall of Fame recipients serve as extraordinary examples for all of us charged with leading our wonderful profession into the future. Plaques honoring these individuals are located in the CRPA office. A website and mobile presentation is also being developed to properly recognize these exceptional leaders for their contributions to CRPA and our profession. Ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed my distinct privilege to present to you the Connecticut Recreation and Parks Association's Hall of Fame class of 2013. The first inductee into the 2013 CRPA Hall of Fame is Eric O'Brien. A native of Massachusetts, Eric was born on January 31, 1939, to Maurice and Laura O'Brien. The third son of the O'Brien family, Eric graduated from Newton Senior High School in 1956. He continued his education at Fairfield University in Connecticut, receiving a B.S. in History in 1961. After college, Eric enlisted in the United States Navy. In 1965, after 4 years stationed in New Orleans, Lieutenant Eric O'Brien made the decision to come home and join the family business, M.E. O'Brien & Sons. In 1966, he married Claudette Prefontaine and started a family. Together, Eric and Claudette had 5 children: Aaron, Carrie Ann, Colleen, Megan, and Peter. Eric started as a sales rep for M.E. O'Brien & Sons. In that position, he traveled extensively throughout New England, assisting municipalities, developers, and private organizations with designing and building park and recreational facilities and urban streetscapes. In 1983, Eric became the company's owner and president. In 2006, he advanced to chairman of O'Brien & Sons. Eric is most respected in the field of parks and recreation because he addressed the needs of his clients more like a professional than a salesperson. Eric would often visit playground construction sites to lend his knowledge and expertise to assist with community builds. Eric's commitment and involvement in the parks and recreation field is long-standing. Over the years, he has served on countless boards and organizations, including Connecticut Recreation and Parks Association, New England Parks Association, the American Society of Landscape Architects, National Association of Olmsted Parks, and the Massachusetts Historic Preservation Advisory Committee. Most recently, he has served on the National Recreation and Park Foundation Board of Governors since 2006 and Clemson University's U.S. Play Coalition's Steering Committee since 2007. Eric is perhaps most noted for his involvement with the National Recreation and Parks Association, serving on that organization's Board of Trustees for 9 years before he was elected chairperson in 1995. Eric O'Brien is the only citizen board member from the New England states to be elevated to chairperson. During his 3-year term as chairperson, Eric traveled the country speaking and professing the mission statement of NRPA and promoting the parks and recreation field. Towards the end of his 3-year term, Eric was asked to stay on as chairman for another year and lend his consistent leadership skills to the association. This was recognized by parks and recreation professionals all over the country as quite an honor. Over his long and distinguished career, Eric O'Brien has received numerous awards and recognitions, including New England Parks Association's John Howard Award in 1998, American Parks and Recreation Society's Meritorious Service Award in the Citizen category in 2005, and the Connecticut Recreation and Parks Association's Distinguished Service Award in 2012. Eric O'Brien has been fully committed to the Connecticut Recreation and Parks Association. Over the years, many events hosted by CRPA have been enhanced by a generous donation of time and/or money from Eric. For many years, Eric O'Brien officiated the swearing in of all newly elected CRPA officials. Eric was also seen at many CRPA and New England Regional Council events with his two best friends and fellow Hall of Famers, Peter Ledger and Harold Lorenz. At 74, Eric is proud of his family's business accomplishments. He also is an avid golfer and enjoys spending time with his family, which now includes his 9 grandchildren. It is for all these reasons that we induct Eric O'Brien into the Connecticut Recreation and Parks Association's Hall of Fame. Our next inductee into the 2013 CRPA Hall of Fame is none other than the renowned Robert Dugalinski. Robert, known to his CRPA colleagues as Bob, was born in 1944 and was the son of Julia and Alexander Dugalinski. Bob attended New Britain High School, where he was a true athlete, lettering in football, tennis, and track and field. Bob then attended the University of Connecticut, where he intended to become a football or track coach. Then a trusted professor suggested that Bob consider the new field of Parks and Recreation Administration. Bob found this to his delight, and he loved the field. In 1966, Bob graduated from UConn with a BS in Recreational Service Education. Prior to his college graduation, Mr. Dugalinski's professional career began in 1966 in the town of Willimantic, where he served as aquatics director at the YMCA. Bob was then fortunate to be selected as the Assistant Director of Parks and Recreation for the town of Branford from 1967 to 1970. During his time in Branford, Bob learned from one of the best Parks and Recreation professionals, Joe Trapasso, who was inducted into the CRPA Hall of Fame in 2008. Bob later joked how Joe T would critique the way Bob would mop the gym floor. He continued his professional career and was awarded the position of Director of Parks and Recreation in the town of North Haven for 10 years, from 1970 to 1980. In North Haven, Bob oversaw over 260 acres of parkland, was responsible for the development of a community center with a daycare and teen center, and developed over 7 major parks with facilities including picnic areas, pavilions, baseball fields, soccer and football fields, basketball and tennis courts, playgrounds, and trails. It was in North Haven where Bob was blessed with 2 of the finest Parks and Recreation professionals. Len Marston, his good friend and fishing buddy, was the supervisor of men and boys activities, and Christy Haas Dugalinski, his true love and wife of 35 years, was the supervisor of women's and girls' activities. In 1980, Bob moved on from serving the town of North Haven to serving the state of Connecticut as coordinator of the Parks and Recreation Advisory Service for the Connecticut Department of Environmental Protection. CRPA lobbied several years for that position, and Bob was the first to accept the duties. As Recreational Resource Coordinator, Bob provided technical assistance for the administration and management of municipal parks and recreation departments throughout the state. He assisted municipalities in protecting, developing, and utilizing open space resources. Bob conducted assessments for municipalities of existing park and recreation systems from standards, maintenance, management, and staffing aspects. Bob's tenure with the Department of Environmental Protection enriched the profession statewide. Bob retired from the state of Connecticut in 2004 after 24 years of service. He was not done when he retired. Bob kept active in the profession and continues to work at Wickham Park in Manchester, Connecticut. Bob's professional commitment is long-standing. He is a member of the New England Parks Association. In 1991, he was awarded the NEPA Award, and in 2003, he received NEPA's Robert Bill Sharkey Award. Bob is also a member of the National Recreation and Parks Association, where he served as chairman of the New England Regional Council in 1984. In addition, Bob is an active member of the Connecticut Recreation and Parks Association. Since 1970, Bob has served on every single CRPA committee, several executive board positions, and ultimately became president of CRPA. In 1982, Bob received CRPA's Outstanding Professional Award. Bob was best known as the unofficial historian of CRPA. When there was a question about what CRPA did in the past regarding an issue, Bob was there to fill in the historic blanks in order to bring the new, young professionals up to speed. In addition, Bob has always been known to be a warm, caring, and insightful Parks and Recreation professional. He was always willing to pull a young professional aside and provide counseling and career guidance to those who needed it. Bob is most proud of his family, including his wonderful wife Christy, who was the acting director of the City of New Haven Department of Parks, Recreation, and Trees, and his 4 children. Bob likes to spend quiet time around his circa 1830 federal house in Middlefield, working on his vegetable garden and keeping track of his farm animals. He served his community by being on the Middlefield Parks and Recreation Commission and on the Board of Education. While serving on the Board of Education, he had the honor of handing his children, Sarah and Eric, their high school diplomas. It is for all these reasons that we induct Robert Dugalinsky into the Connecticut Recreation and Parks Association's Hall of Fame.